All right, everybody, the time is here. It is winter throwdown time. Tomorrow, all the action starts with King of the Throwdown, and then Friday and Saturday, the opening rounds of the Mission Food CTR Flat Track Series. And while this series is built around growing amateur flat track racing, as we've kind of touched on the past couple of days, there's pro riders in attendance. They have classes, and so we're going to touch on them too, and we'll use this to bring a close to our Mission CTR Flat Track Series kickoff preview. Obviously, part 3 of the Winter Throwdown preview that we've been doing all week. Thank you guys for tuning in and checking out the Youth and the Vet preview show from Monday and the Big Bike Amateur Class preview show from Tuesday. So yeah, here we are, Wednesday, the day before Winter Throwdown. So let's get after it. Let's look at the pro riders looking to build some momentum as we get warmed up for the 2025 Progressive American Flat Track season, featuring all these guys that you'll see in this video and down there in Callahan. All right, the expert riders. Again, talking about just riders who are on that pre-entry list. There's probably going to be plenty of riders that show up who weren't pre-entered, but we're going to focus first on the riders who pre-entered for the whole weekend. And then on the back end of this, we'll look at the riders who are pre-entered just for King of the Throwdown. And we're going to lead it off with a rider who made a huge splash in the offseason, coming back to a former team of his and being just unreal fast and putting up some great results. And that's Trevor Bruner. And on the even-numbered years recently, 2022 and 2024, Trevor's had a pretty solid Winter Throwdown. 2023, not his best. I'm sure he's going to be looking to not have a repeat of that. But Trevor's got 2 pro wins at Throwdown. He's also got 2 overall championships from 2022 and 2024, and has been so fast since coming back to Turner Racing. He got wins at Mid-Carolina Speedway. He won the 50-lapper at Panhandle Clash, also picked up a couple other main event wins down there. Trevor's no stranger, like we said, to winning at Callahan Speedway. And Trevor is going to be an exciting one to watch on these expert classes. Trevor's cleaned house at several of Corey's events, be it Escape the Berg or Winter Throwdown or Hagerstown. Trevor's definitely had some success at these Corey Texter Racing events, and he'll be in the house with Turner Racing and looking to build upon the momentum that he's had throughout the back half of 2024, and they'll be a strong contender for an AFT Singles Championship in 2025. How about the current King of the Throwdown, King Breyer II? I guess we can use that term, borrowing sort of the trend that they use in World of Outlaws racing with the King's Royal. But Breyer's the defending King of the Throwdown. He also was a Dash for Cash winner in 2023, and he did pick up a main event win during the day program in 2024. Very exciting. Probably the better pro race of the, well, let me take that back. Maybe the second best pro race of the weekend, that day session race that Breyer won on the 450. He did podium all 3 main events that he qualified for in 2024, but there was one main event he missed out on after a really dicey semi-final battle. Breyer is going to be someone that you just can't ever count out. He's always been toward the front when he's raced at Winter Throwdown. The first year he had that epic battle with Tyler Scott in a heat race. Riding the Indian that first year that he was there in 2022, and then the past couple of years he's been on a KTM 450, and he's looked really strong. Breyer picked up a couple of wins out there in Hagerstown when he hopped on the Twin. Not sure what Breyer's going to be, what speed he's going to be bringing to the Throwdown this year, but again, a winner and an overall champion in one class last year. He'll for sure be looking to take home a little more cash and continue to defend his kingdom. Again, he's currently King Breyer, King of the Throwdown, and he went unbeaten last year in those races during the King of the Throwdown bracket. So still never lost, dating back to 2024 at least, when it comes to 1v1 racing. Breyer will be one to look for in that. We talked yesterday about one of the exciting years that Chase Sadoff had when he was such a dominant amateur at Winter Throwdown. Well, Chase has had plenty of success as a pro at Winter Throwdown as well. He was the inaugural King of the Throwdown, King Chase the First. And picked up a couple of main event wins. In fact, earlier we misspoke saying Breyer won the most exciting expert main event, but I got to actually give that to Chase from 2024, the most exciting expert main event win. He had an incredible battle with Braden Fanders in the 450 expert main event of the night show there. Chase, when he was toward the front, was a factor. 2024, not his best Throwdown. Definitely much stronger the year prior in 2023, but Chase Sadoff will be back in the house in 2025. after a really strong season in American Flat Track, finally picking up those first wins. Almost picked up a Grand Slam last year, winning a TT, winning a half mile, winning on a mile. He's just waiting for that short track, which he almost picked up several times. And Chase will be an exciting rider to watch. Again, 2 expert wins to his name at Winter Throwdown. And we'll be looking at that number 88 and see how many people are chasing Chase. I mentioned Braden Fanders in the battle that he had with Chase Sadoff. Braden Fanders is the only rider that made not just the Dash for Cash, but every main event. The only rider to do that. There was another rider who made every main event, but didn't make the Dash for Cash. And that was Aiden Roos Evans, who was the rider who won the final main event of 2024. Aiden not currently pre-entered for the Winter Throwdown at this time, but who knows? Maybe he'll show up down there in Callahan to defend that open expert main event win to close out 2024. But in talking about Braden Fanders, like we said, the only rider to make all 4 main events and the Dash for Cash, which he won in pretty convincing fashion. Fanders has always been really, really strong at Winter Throwdown. He's had epic battles with Evan Renshaw in the amateur class and fun battles in the pro ranks. And that first expert win for Fanders at Throwdown is probably on the horizon. He looked so good last year, just wasn't in the right place at the right time. And then he got, kind of moved out of the way in one of those main events last year as well. But Fanders a very competitive rider. He's going to be back again and looking to sort of reset. His first year as an expert, he only got 1 race under his belt, really, with Sonoy, and then he got hurt at Texas. It's exciting to see that Braden is pre-entered, and he's looking to go in his sophomore year with a lot more success. And we're excited to see Braden back out there at the Winter Throwdown with the top expert riders and see how that maybe springboards his season in 2025 when he gets to contest a full year of American Flat Track racing. Braden's biggest rival in the amateur class, the winningest rider in all of Winter Throwdown history, also made a big splash this offseason when he left Turner Racing and went to First Impressions, and that's Evan Renshaw. So Renshaw on a Husqvarna, he's going to have help from Andrew Butler, who has spoke very highly of Evan. Now, granted, they have some experience working in the past. Butler was with Renshaw during his Amateur Nationals Horizon Award season, and now they have teamed back up, and Butler, no stranger to success in a 450, 3 championships with Cody Kopp, and looking to make it 4 in a row as a tuner if he can get Evan Renshaw to a championship in 2025 for American Flat Track. But first things first, let's get it going at the Winter Throwdown. And so it'll be exciting to see Evan on a Husqvarna. He had so much success on KTM's there at Winter Throwdown. And, last year, not a horrible year. He was 4th and 6th in the main events that he made at Winter Throwdown in 2024. But he'll be wanting more from that. He'll be wanting to make every main event and be up there in the hunt for wins. So Evan is someone to definitely keep an eye on. He's had so much success at this race through the amateur ranks and still looking for that first pro win now in his 2nd year of professional racing. Evan's teammate Chad Coase has been on a roll this offseason with the SDTA series down there in Florida, winning a lot. And while Throwdown is not Coase's best friend, he is back with a familiar team, back with First Impressions Racing, teamed up with Renshaw, and those two have gotten to spend some laps together down in Florida. Chad looked really strong at Nice, South Carolina for the Southeast Flat Track finale in November. He put together some solid results at the Panhandle Clash, and they'll be looking to finally kind of shake the bugs that have faced Coase at Winter Throwdown in the past. I expect to see some solid finishes out of Chad this year, and he'll be a solid rider to watch. He and Evan teamed up under that First Impressions banner. They've got Jack Brooks, who's been so strong on the in the amateur ranks, and that team could be poised for a very, very impressive 2025 Winter Throwdown. Trent Lowe's been on a twin all offseason. Trent is a past expert winner at the Winter Throwdown. He won a 450 expert main event a couple of years ago. Trent will be, from what I can tell, he's going to be riding the twin all weekend long, and that'll be valuable for their season, although I think it might throw a couple of hurdles at him as far as contesting for wins this year at the Winter Throwdown. But it'll be fun to see if they've found something in that bike and can put forth a better results. I know last year probably not Trent's favorite year at this particular event, but 2023 he did have a really good outing, winning a main event. A couple of rookies stepping up to the pro class this year. Trevor Bruner's teammate on the Turner Racing team, Walker Porter, the current Horizon Award winner, a 5-time Winter Throwdown victor in the past during his time in amateur racing. But Walker was unable to pick up a victory last year at this event. And that's because Brady Lang and Dylan Cunningham swept their particular days of the event. Dylan Cunningham winning both races in the daytime session, and Brady Lang sweeping the night session for the amateur classes. And Dylan is another rider who will be stepping up to the pro ranks this year. Had a really, really good winter throwdown in 2024. To be honest, he was not somebody I had factored in as being one of the top contenders for wins last year, and well, that shut me up. And Dylan's coming off of a very strong year. He and his brother Tyler were 1-2 a lot up there in District 6 racing, and they traveled to a few Southeast races as well, and got a lot of laps throughout the season. Dylan had a pretty scary crash toward the end of last year, but we got to see him at Timonium, so he's back and he's ready to go full send into this 2025 season, and it'll be exciting to see how he and Walker stack up against the pro riders as they make that jump into the pro class for Winter Throwdown, which is unlike some of your local pro class races. You've got AFT race winners and champions that you got to contend with, but we're excited to see how Walker and Dylan do in that class. Some other riders to keep an eye on. Terrence Santero was a runner-up in the Open Expert main event to close out the 2024 edition of the Throwdown. He'll be fun to keep an eye on. Also, James Ott, we're not sure, is he going to be riding that G&G Twin or is he going to hop on a 450? Justin Jones, a Canadian flat track champion in the DTX class. Justin, a really good short tracker. He's put on some pretty good performances at Winter Throwdown in the past. Dan Bromley is going to be down there as well. Dan's had a couple of really good runs, especially last year where he came home second in the 450 Expert overall points on the weekend. So all those riders can be factored into the King of the Throwdown and the Friday and Saturday portions. This next batch of riders is on the pre-entry list for King of the Throwdown only at this time. Leading off that is the other bombshell of the offseason, and that was Cody Kopp, who's stepping away from American Flat Track Racing and pursuing a challenge in Moto America. But hey, Cody's going to come on back to Winter Throwdown and get after it in the King of the Throwdown on Thursday night. Hopefully, Cody has enough fun and enough temptation to stick around all weekend and run that. Cody swept the Open Expert class in 2023. He was also a Dash for Cash winner in 2022. Cody's been a really strong competitor at Winter Throwdown in the past. Although 2024, not his best year, they were still working a few things out and getting more comfortable on that bike. But while Winter Throwdown may not have been his best, it was arguably his best American Flat Track season to date. And what a way to go out on top, Cody, with his third straight championship. Brandon Robinson also on the entry list for King of the Throwdown, the runner-up from last year's King of the Throwdown event. Briar Bauman getting the best of him, but Brandon Robinson has found a lot of success at Callahan Speedway. In fact, the first 4 expert class main events that were run at this event in 2019 and 2020, Brandon swept those weekends. It wasn't until Jared Mees got the better of him in 2021 that would end Brandon Robinson's main event win streak there. So Brandon very strong on a 450 on a short track. Brandon, one of the best riders in American Flat Track Racing. It's fun to see him continue to come out to the racetrack, and we're hoping that he's going to have a full send in 2025 with American Flat Track Racing. But starting things off, he's going to be out there in the King of the Throwdown, and he's going to be someone that you can be pretty confident in is going to be in that bracket and going to be one of the favorites to finally maybe break the curse of the first couple of years. Dallas Daniels, he'll be back at the King of the Throwdown. Not currently pre-entered for Friday and Saturday's events, but Dallas unfortunately got knocked off by his premier rival last year in King of the Throwdown, and Jared Mees, a perennial title favorite for the AFT Super Twins class going into 2025, had his best year to date in that class in 2024, even with the injury, a podium at every single race, several wins. Dallas Daniels will be looking to build on that momentum in 2025. It was really fun talking to Dallas about his time in Australia on the Sideways podcast. Dallas will be in the house. He'll be racing with the King of the Throwdown event on Thursday night. And oddly enough, Dallas has no Throwdown victories yet. So if he can be crowned king and make that the first one, that'd be a pretty good one to have. Although King of the Throwdown not factoring into your event wins, at least as far as I can tell. Another rider on the entry list for King of the Throwdown had the spiciest race of the event last year, and that's Dalton Gauthier. And Dalton, always so fun to watch at the racetrack. He and Trent had their little rivalry brewing and going down there in 2024, and really epic battle for them to end up drawing each other in the bracket. Dalton getting the better of Trent that night, and Dalton being a rider who made it to the final 8 as well before he was knocked out of the bracket. Dalton had probably one of the more exciting wins at Winter Throwdown when he came from the back row in 2022 to win the Open Expert finale and cap that event in 2022. Super exciting ride from him. Dalton was also a runner-up during both day show main events this past year, and is always someone to factor in for wins at the Winter Throwdown. So it'll be fun to see if Dalton hangs around after Thursday night and contests with some of the expert main events throughout the weekend, but for sure going to be a rider to watch when it comes to the King of the Throwdown bracket. And another rider who's found a lot of success the back half of 2024 is Billy Ross. And Billy has gotten a win in Southeast Flat Track competition at Mid-Carolina. He's also picked up wins at Panhandle Clash and is running a streak of 4 consecutive Pro-Am victories in the SDTA series. So Billy getting to spend a lot of laps in this offseason and find success down in Florida. So Billy Ross coming out for King of the Throwdown. It sounds like Billy got a little bit of heat from his win at Panhandle Clash, but like he said on his social media post, hey, the check cashed and the win's the win. So Billy could be one to keep an eye on in this King of the Throwdown event, and hopefully he'll be a rider that is able to hang around throughout the weekend. All right, so that's it. Part 3 of our preview show. All the previews are done. We've talked about youth riders, vet riders, vintage riders, hooligan riders, 450 amateur riders, 250 amateur riders, experts. We've talked about every division happening at Winter Throwdown this year. So we hope you've got the notebook ready of riders to keep an eye on, names to look at. We hope to see you at the racetrack. There's nothing better than being at the Winter Throwdown, being in Callahan, Florida for this weekend. We hope you can be at the racetrack, but if you can't, Fans Choice has you covered, $9.99 a month or $54.99 for 6 months. If you can't be in Callahan, please subscribe and support. They're having the full production team down there. It's going to be great coverage. And thank you all for supporting Flat Track Racing. We hope to see you at the racetrack this weekend. It's our favorite weekend of the year. By the time you're watching this particular video, I will hopefully be in a car moseying on down 95 to Callahan, Florida. I'm excited for this event to get going. We love being at this race. It's our favorite race of the year. And thank you all so much for following along with these preview videos. Thank you for supporting Flat Track Flashback. Riders, thank you for the sacrifices that you make to compete in this sport. All you sponsors, thank you so much for the support that you offer this amazing sport that we love so much. Mission Foods for everything that you do to make this CTR Flat Track series come to life. We are pumped for it in 2025 and look forward to getting a little taste as to who the title favorites are going to be for the Mission CTR Flat Track Series, rounds 1 and 2 in Callahan, Florida, Callahan Speedway this weekend, baby. Let's go.